Welcome to the Doug Rice Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in, for showing up, for being here. I do appreciate it. My name is Doug Rice. This is the Doug Rice Show. It is an effort that I try to put forth at least once a week, just so you know. Today is no different. The day after Shabbat. I hope all of you had a warm and relaxing Shabbat as I did. It's the day off all of us are required to take in adherence to the laws and requirements set by the Most High God of all creation. And I do appreciate your being here today to get the iteration of the show I've put together. And it is a topic that I barter in. I barter in the truth. As you saw at the opening of this effort, you see that I provide PDF files that contain quite a bit of truth, all available for those who wish to donate to the support of this effort. You are free to do so. The Cash App is $, the Doug Rice Show. I have sent out myriads of PDF files for the perusal of those who choose to face the truth, to know the truth, to embrace the truth, and not avoid the truth, as this country and entire planet seems to be so hell bent on doing relentlessly and without let up. They are avoiding the truth. And why are they avoiding the truth? Because, as the title of this effort implies and says unequivocally, folks, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Hebrews, the truth is ugly. Oh yes, the truth is vile. I've been telling as much truth as I can stand, as I can muster. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, all of the platforms that are available to you, I try to be as uniform as possible in conveying as much truth as possible so that those who may stumble across my efforts can see just how ugly the truth truly is. And it is truly ugly, truly. So today we're going to go over the truth, the ugliness of that truth. We're going to examine what truth is. We're going to ask and answer the question if it sets you free. We're going to examine various truths for us to see. We're going to acknowledge those at war with the truth, why it's avoided at all costs, the danger of half truths, those loving the lie, the facts over feelings that we must abide. We have to also acknowledge that truth hides in plain sight. Belief in it is not required, and telling the truth is. The fact that truth never goes away. And finally, we're going to examine why the truth will be their end and our beginning. Now, for those of you that know what I do, primarily I am a writer. I have attempted to write for a few years now, as professionally as I can. And I specialize in something that I've coined Negro prose. And within that Negro prose, I do all that I can to convey the truth to those in this land, those in this cacophony of cacacity that we've suffered for so long. And I'm brutal because the truth is brutal. It deserves to be served cold, without cut, no marginalization, no mitigation. Truth is ugly. And today we're going to examine the ugliness of some of these truths. One of the things we'll take first a peek at is what truth is. What's truth? I like to think truth is fact put in the narrative. It's not open to interpretation. It's not subjective. As you may have read in my in my opening dissertation and how I get the show started. And I'll read it just so that we all know. Let me give this a shot here. Let me give it a go. The truth is not subjective. The truth is, how do we say? It's it's definite. It's without cut. There is no subterfuge with the truth. If I can just find what I wrote here, I hope I can find it. Hopefully I can. There it is. The truth is not subjective, it's meditative, the opposite of which is ignorance. And today we're going to examine that that fact, those facts most avoided, that the truth itself is ugly. Cognitive dissidence is the enemy of truth. And the world seems at war against its own truth these days. Cognitive dissidence is the enemy of truth. It is meditative. And the opposite of meditative is ignorance. There are those that take to the lie much better than the truth. There are those that find the lie much more comforting. There are those that avoid the truth at all costs. And it's for our gain and their loss. Truth, truth is fact in the narrative. It's expressing the facts through storytelling, if you will. We're going to go over some truths today. We're going to look truth in the eye today. I like to think that I speak truth to power. Any of you that have noticed or noticed any of my postings may observe that sometimes I post directly to the powers that be, because there can't be fear in expressing the truth as I see. This is important and imperative, particularly to Negroes who represent the kingdom of heaven on this earth. It's the reason they hate us so. It's because of what we represent. That is a truth. That's not an opinion. Their hatred is a truth in itself. And so when I speak the truth to power, I try not to use any cut, no subterfuge. I try not to beat around the bush. I speak directly to what is known, what is being ignored. And I've paid a price for the truth that I've spoken in some respects. I've written about it, I've narrated about it, I've shared it. And we can see that as time progresses toward prophecy, truth seems to be something the world is afraid of. It's terrorized by truth. So the question now becomes, does truth truly set you free? Does it set you free? I think the truth sets you free of your delusion, of your illusions. I think the truth may lock you into the acceptance of that which is disdainful. Because the truth at that moment puts you in the position of doing something about the truth you may be confronted with. So does it set you free or does it lock you out of your illusion? I think people do one of two things. They either guard their reality or they may guard their illusions. And what we're finding folks are doing today, and when we're talking about folks, most folks are guarding their illusions. Most folks are guarding their fantasy. Most folks are holding close to that which deludes them. And they are refusing to look at the truth of matters because the truth matters. As a matter of fact, just today, we've had some pretty harsh truths that have come across the news. Those truths seems to be repetitive, constant, continuous. We've had mass shootings, and I believe in the last 24 hours, we've had 3. Just beyond those 24 hours, I believe we've had 4. All seem to involve the same types of individuals, these individuals that are coping with their own version of their own truths. And these truths seem to push them toward action. That action seems to be violent, and that violence has taken lives. Those lives are victims of truths. Folks, we're living in some very perilous yet predictable times. And it almost seems like a cascade of events seems to be occurring over and over involving the same demographics, the same kinds and types of people with the same problems and hangups and prejudices, the same proclivities toward expressing themselves violently and publicly, maddeningly, seem to be at war with their version of what they think truth may be, or they seem to be holding on to their delusions, as bad as those delusions may be. But let's examine some of these truths, some of the things that folks seem to be ignoring these days. I mean, let's talk about truth about white folks, truth about white people. That's a that's a could fill a volume. I could probably do a 2 hour, 3 hour dissertation on the truth about white people. But there is a truth about these beings, a consistency in their history that is not a mystery. It's the truth about their proclivities, about their thinking, about their thoughts, the truth of all the things they've done and wrought. And they've been consistent in their inconsistency, consistently avoiding the truth they see. White people have a truth that they try to avoid, the truth of their dangerous proclivities, the truth of their violence, the truth of their prejudice, their racism, their white supremacy. It permeates every fiber of their being, and they refuse to look in the mirror that they're seeing. You'll have them today talk about the mass shootings that occurred and all the violence and all the places that you've heard. And it seems that they are the perpetrators of this violence as they look to Negroes as, as violent individuals. It's an interesting residual. The truth about white folks. Truth about white folks is they refuse to see themselves. The truth about white people is they seem to not want to hold themselves accountable for the things that they are continually doing every single day, this country that they're ruining. It's the truth. And they wag their wrinkled white fingers in the faces of black people and refuse to acknowledge their culpability in our circumstances. This is truth. They'll tell you that we need to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps, but they won't tell us that they keep taking a scissors to those bootstraps, that they keep stealing the boots, that there are no straps. They won't talk about the sabotage of our communities. They'll only discuss the results of that sabotage and blame our inability to overcome that sabotage as some sort of, I don't know, some sort of problem with our community. These are truths about white people that they don't want to take into consideration. They'd much rather embrace the lie. They'd much rather embrace the falsehood that all of this is happening in a vacuum. Those are one or two truths about white folks. I don't know. The truth about Trump. Let's examine those truths. The truths about Donald Trump that his supporters seem to ignore. We all can see plainly, as we've seen before, that Donald Trump is a pedophile. Donald Trump abuses children. He's done this for a long time. The evidence of his abuse is there, seemingly hidden, but in the plain air. There it is. People see it. But his supporters seem to want to ignore the truth that faces us on a daily basis. His supporters seem to want to ignore the fact that he's hiding every bit of truth that seems out there plainly, ready and willing for all who want to look at it squarely that this is something that he has done and is doing and perhaps continues to do. Who knows? His victims have made statements. The Epstein files that he seems to go out of his way to avoid at all costs. These are truths. These are things that we know. These aren't things that we're guessing. We can lay these facts in storytelling form and understand that Donald Trump goes against the norm. There's the truth about Trump. He's in the Epstein files. We all know it. Everybody knows it. He's been informed. Yet he will stop the mechanisms that keep this country going in order to hide the truths that all of us are knowing. Truth about Trump: he's a crook. He's a misogynist. He's a womanizer. He's a cheat. He's a liar. He's not honest. Yet they hold this bastion of wickedness and evil up is on a pedestal, put him in the highest office in the land, despite the truth that we can see firsthand. These are truths. This isn't us making things up. This is what we know. Let's talk about the truth about the Jews. Oh, now there's some truth we can use. The truth about those that call themselves Jews but are not is that they are Ashkenazi imposters. They are converts by the order of King Bulan. The truth about these individuals: they are murdering women and children indiscriminately over in Palestine with the excuse that they have an entitlement to do so for their own survival, as if children who are starving somehow pose a threat to that very survival. These are truths. I've posted videos of their children spitting in the faces of Christians that go and visit what they call the Holy Land. And the truth is that they feel an entitlement to disrespect individuals, spitting upon them, hitting upon them. They claim that these Christians are idol worshipers and they can kill them if they would so be inclined. These are truths. This is what they believe. These are the truths of Jewish people. The invention of the Jewish people by Mr. Shlomo expresses truths. The Talmud is a truth. These are ugly things. Where the Talmud, the Jewish Babylonian Talmud, expresses the validation that they give toward having sexual relations with little children. These are truths. This is what they believe. This isn't me trying to disparage or put anything upon them that is not something that they have put upon themselves. I've done lives about truths. Yet the world seems hell-bent on ignoring these kinds of facts put in story form. They refuse to look squarely at what these individuals represent. White people, Donald Trump, and Jews. What? 50 states, one Israel, 250 congressmen flown over to the state of Israel, given God knows what to do God knows what for God knows what. These are truths. This is what they do, straight in the face of individuals that are looking at it squarely, that seem somehow like we're judging them unfairly. I'm not just speaking out of the side of my neck. I'm not Charlie Kirk. I mean, what the heck? The truth about Charlie Kirk, it's another truth. He was a racist, white nationalist, neo-Nazi son of a bitch. Well, I'm not being cruel. These are things that came out of his mouth. I'm only speaking on the facts that he allowed to come out of his putrid mouth. And he said horrible things about people that have suffered horrible things. And that truth came home to roost in Charlie Kirk's, in his own orbit. As a 22-year-old Mormon decided to end his life, as he spoke about black on black crime being associated with mass shootings, a shooter took his life. These are truths. The truth is ugly. And if we're not willing to look in the face of that ugly truth, to take it all in so that we understand exactly what we're dealing with, then we may succumb to the delusion. And that leads to mass confusion. This isn't rocket science, folks. This is simple math. 1 + 1 is 2. So those are some of the various truths. The truth about Negroes, the truth about our identity. The truth is that we are the true Hebrews, true Israel, that we are Zion, that we represent the Most High God of all creation, Yahuwah. This is a truth that they choose to ignore, the truth that we've all heard before. It's not a lie. It's right there in front of your eye. The only people on planet Earth denied the ability to read, denied our own country, denied our civility, denied everything that creates and makes others who they are. The only people on the planet. They've taken our identity and handed it to others who had identity. And the truth of the matter is, well, we are the chosen of Almighty God, Negroes, Hebrews, the descendants of slaves taken from our country, from our land, and put here, made to forget our heritage, our past, our civilization, our language, made to learn Europeanized ideations, made to embrace their values, everything that's wrong with this earth. That's what we all experience from birth. And we're the only people on planet Earth, without a country that we can return to. That's the truth about Negroes. Now, again, the truth of facts put in the form of narrative, storytelling, not open to interpretation, fact, not my opinion, fact. And to some people, that truth in itself is ugly. I heard a Jewish woman on a panel say that the number one threat to the Jewish state are black men. My goodness, what did we do to them? What is the threat that we pose to a nuclearly armed country of millions of people? If I'm not mistaken, the count of folks over in Israel is about 9 million people. They are nuclearly armed. They have their own country. They have free healthcare, free education. They can murder indiscriminately. They have complete control over this country. And yet it was spoken out loud, unobjectively, without cut, without equivocation. She said it. And what a revelation. The number one threat to the state of Israel are black men in America. My goodness. What did we do to them? I don't know. That's the truth. She spoke it. I'm not lying. We heard it. All of us have heard it. All of us that are awoke, all of us that are awakened, all of us that seem to have their foundation shaken. These are truths that they would much rather we ignore. They'd rather not ever hear it anymore. They're running from the truth. They're hiding from the truth. They are at war with the truth. And it would appear the war they're waging against truth is one they're winning against truth, but truth will prevail. because truth can't be conquered. It's not going anywhere. You can fire 1,000,000 bullets at the truth and it will stand resilient and sound strong and ready to be repeated. And truth will remain the same and always undefeated. They're at war with the truth. They'd rather not hear the truth. The truth is ugly. For them, the ugliness lies in the exposure of their lies. And to hear the truth, to face the truth, would mean the elimination of the lie. And what would they do then? Oh my. The truth is avoided at all costs. Rather than come face to face with the truth, they would much rather turn right, turn left, turn around, reverse course, go around. They could never face the truth because the truth is followed by consequences. That's when the real mess commences. So they avoid it. They'd rather not talk about it. Negroes in this country and elsewhere are shouting to the rooftops on all types of forums and platforms that we are true Hebrews, that we are the true Israel, that we are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, that we are the descendants of David and Solomon and Daniel, that we are the descendants of Yeshua. Negroes are true Israel. And it couldn't be any more clear. It couldn't be any more equivocal. We are the Hebrews spoken of in Scripture. And I've yet to see a single one of these imposters come against that truth successfully and squash it, stamp it out of the conversation. I've yet to see that happen. Instead, what I see are those being exposed as not Negroes. They want to be us so badly, don't they? That's the truth. And it's avoided at all costs. They simply don't talk about it. What they'll do is they'll talk about half truths, which are dangerous. Let me tell you why half truths are dangerous. Because there are those that will say, those that call themselves Jews and are not are there in Israel. And here's what we've got half truths going about, but the full truth, they dare not shout. They'll whisper it. I've seen it. They'll say they're not the true Jews. I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 social media influencers throughout their lives talk about the Ashkenazi European Polish imposter. They'll tell you that Netanyahu's name is actually Benjamin Milkowski. They'll tell you that they don't come from the Middle East. They'll tell you from the smallest to the least that they are not who they claim to be. But that half truth stops there and doesn't go anywhere because they won't then go further and simply say, in fact, the true Jews are Negroes. And these individuals who claim to be Jews are the ones that sold them into slavery primarily. They are the ones that funded the efforts toward marginalizing and mitigating and putting in the back burner anything having to do with that truth and capturing that lie and promoting it to the world so that they can be considered the chosen of God. And they don't look too chosen these days. That's the truth. Half truths hurt. I mean, you can say half a lie, and it won't hurt as much as half the truth. And half truth means ignoring more likely the most important aspect of the story. Instead, they're loving the lie. The lie is comforting, isn't it? I mean, I've often thought that if 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 I were a white person, I don't know, would I embrace the lie too? I don't know that I could be so brave as I've seen so many so bravely and forcefully face the camera and say, we are horrible creatures. We are vile, violent, dangerous, hedonistic creatures. We have wrought the world full of violence, full of just replete with just horrible decadence, with greed and thieving and lying and murdering and raping. This is what white people do. We steal and we do all these things. I don't know. The truth seems so uncomfortable. And so I can see why they love the lie. The lie is very comfortable. It's like a warm blanket, isn't it? I mean, if you were a Jew, of course, what you gonna do? You might embrace the lie and just love it as much as you possibly can, knowing that it is a lie. I wonder how many know they live a lie, loving the lie while they live it. Oh my. The one thing that we have to pay attention to, and some do, is that we must accept facts over feelings. Some of them do. I've posted a video of a white woman, the blondest, whitest woman I've seen in a long time, who says, look at me, look at my nose, look at my lips. Y'all saw the video, y'all saw the clips. And what did she say? She said, I'm an Ashkenazi European imposter. I am no more Jewish than any Jew that is in Israel. No association with the Middle East. That's bravery, to say the least. I got to admit, that woman's the shit. Sure, you'll have seen it. If you haven't, go look on my timeline on Facebook, on TikTok, on all these other places. You'll see it. Some will look squarely in the eye of truth and speak it audibly. And that I have to commend. There are those that are not afraid of the truth to lend. Facts over feelings. In most instances, we see that truth hides in plain sight. Much like the Epstein files, truth is in plain sight. You look at the note that Donald Trump wrote. I mean, that's a volume of books it spoke. You know, the little drawing of the woman and his signature in the pubic area. I mean, it was him talking to an imaginary conversation he's having, talking about, wonderful secrets. I mean, the truth is in plain sight. How about all of the truth you see on the skins of those who claim to be Jews that are not Jews? Truth is in plain sight. You can simply look at them and see that they are European white people. They are not of Middle Eastern descent. They have no darkness, no hue, no melanin. We all knew. It hides in plain sight. And when it's directly in front of some, they choose to close their eyes. They simply choose not to see it. Yes, the truth is ugly. What's most important about the truth, what's most vitally important about it, is that your belief in it is not required. Isn't that wonderful? That's the strength of truth, I believe. You don't have to believe it in order for it to remain true. I don't need you to believe the truth. The truth stands alone. The truth stands strong and on its own. And as I've said, they're taking many shots at it, but they can't seem to put the truth down. They can't seem to shut truth out and run it out of town. There's nothing they can do. It won't go away. It's the reason they're in such excitement these days, because they hear us speaking truth. We see truth being spoken. And the one thing we know, folks, that the truth ain't joking. You know? And then we come to telling the truth. Let me tell you something. Y'all know what I do for a living. I'm a cab driver. And any chance, any time that I get to tell any one of them the truth about their circumstances and themselves, I tell it directly and to their faces. I put these white folks in their places. I kid you not. I kid you not. I have no cut, no filter. They're a captive audience in the back of my cab. If they dare broach the subject of things that need to be said out loud, let me tell you, I will astonish the crowd. I've left some of them dumbfounded in the back of my cab. I've left some of them distraught. And you'd think it was more than the ride they bought. I've had a few of them ask me what they can do. And I've told them to cling to Negroes like you. If you see us leaving, ask if you can go with us. That's what you do. When I use logic and I use reasoning in order to kind of use some seasoning on what I say, I don't want to anger them on their way. But I give them food for thought. Most of them leave my cab overwrought. So anytime you get a chance to tell the truth, especially to those that love the lie, I tell you, you tell that truth and don't let an ounce of lie go by. And telling it ensures that it never goes away. It tells you the truth is here to stay. It never goes away. Truth won't dissolve. You know, we're never going to put down the fact that we are true Israel, that we are the true Hebrews. We're not, just like the Epstein files are never going to go away. Donald Trump has done everything he can to make people's attention go elsewhere, away from the truth of the Epstein files, the Epstein circumstances, his involvement, his being a pedophile. We all know it. It won't fade into the distance. It won't fade to black. Many truths are exactly like that. I'm sure that the Jewish construct of caucasity stuck in Israel, seemingly deteriorating and diminishing in its power and placement, I'm nearly certain they wish that we would stop saying that we are true Hebrews. I'm pretty sure that they're sick of hearing Negroes tell the truth, but the truth won't leave. It won't simply vanish. It just won't go away. As I've said, the truth is here to stay. The truth will be their end, finally. No need to fake or pretend. The truth will finally overcome their ability to ignore it. Truth will envelop them, encompass them. I'm sure of it. And eventually they'll have to acquiesce. I mean, for now, they're doing their absolute best to keep it held at bay, but we all know the truth will prevail one day. It will be their end. It's like a vacuum created. And eventually, the truth will be our beginning. The truth will be the beginning. Esau being the end of things, Jacob the beginning. That means we'll stop losing and maybe we'll start winning. It's the truth. They see it. They're trying to put off the inevitable. They're trying their best to run from that which will eventually come, and that's it. That will be the end of the matter. So there you have it, folks. The truth is ugly. Most truths are ugly. Ugly to, if not some, then to others. And we soon will face a truth. We'll have to come to terms with that truth. And that truth comes with responsibility. Negroes will judge the nations. I need you to understand that that truth will come to pass. This is a truth that they are most terrified of. That as they fall, we rise. And right before their very eyes, we will judge the nations. We must be prepared for that. So as you go about your day and as I send you on your way, I want you to hear everything I've had to say. The truth is ugly, but also quite attractive. And I do appreciate your time being here with me active. All right, there it is. Well, folks, that is it. I just wanted to deliver that short dissertation to convey the truth as a way of information, and hopefully you've gotten the point. And I got to leave now. I'm out of this joint. You folks have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. And if you are so inclined, please support this effort. You can do so by using the edifices you see ticking below. And thank you for tuning in to the Doug Rice Show. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye now. Peace.